Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to break down what is, without a doubt, the single most important sentence for anyone just starting their Mandarin journey. Seriously, if you want to say who you are, what you do, or where you're from, this is the structure you absolutely need to know. So, let's dive right in.
Think about it for a second. When you meet someone new, this is one of the very first things you do, right? It's a fundamental part of communication. So how do you actually say, I am a student, or she is American? Well, in the next few minutes, you're going to know exactly how.
So let's get to the heart of it. We're going to look at a structure that I like to call Mandarin's core equation. A, shi, B. For now, try to forget about complicated grammar rules. I just want you to think of this as simple, powerful math.
Now, at the very heart of this structure is one character, shi. It's pronounced shi. Notice that sharp, falling fourth tone, shi. It's very decisive. And that's because it functions just like an equal sign. It states a simple, undeniable fact, A equals B. This is the bedrock of identification in Mandarin, and its beautiful directness is what makes it so easy to learn.
And this is exactly why this matters so much. This is not some abstract rule from a textbook. No, this is your key to having real-world conversations. Introducing yourself at a party, describing a friend to someone, explaining your job, it all starts right here with this one essential structure. All right, so let's see this equation in action. Our first stop is going to be one of the most common topics of conversation anywhere in the world, jobs. How do you say what you do for a living? Just look at how clean and elegant this is. A is our subject, 我, which means I. Then comes our equal sign, 是, and B is the object, 老师, meaning teacher. A 是 B, 我是老师, I am a teacher. It's so simple, so direct, and so powerful.
And this pattern holds true no matter who you're talking about. He is a doctor is 他是医生. She is a student is 她是学生. Now, here's a very important note. Notice that the pronunciation, 他, is exactly the same for he and she. When you're just listening, you can only tell the difference from the context of the conversation. Of course, when reading, you can see the different characters. And finally, you are a manager, 你是经理. The core structure, subject, shirt, object, it never changes.
Okay, so you've mastered professions. Now, for the best part. You don't need to learn a new rule at all to talk about where you're from. Let's see how this exact same structure works for stating your nationality.
See, it's the same beautiful equation. Our subject, A, is 他, she. Our equal sign is 是. And our object, B, is megwodin. Now let's look at that a little closer. This literally translates to America person, which is the wonderfully logical way you form nationalities in Mandarin. You take the country, in this case Megwa for America, and you add the character for person, ren. So, A, 是 B. She is American.
Let's look at a couple more, just to really lock this in. I am Chinese is 我是中国人. 中国 for China, plus 人 for person. They are British is 他们是英国人. 英国 for Britain, plus 人. The core logic stays identical. You're just swapping out the pieces.
And this is the key takeaway. You've just learned one single, simple rule that unlocks two massive categories of conversation. You don't need a different verb or a different sentence order. All you have to do is change the B part of the equation. This is what efficiency in language learning looks like.
So, we've covered the theory and we've seen the examples, but you know, the most important step is making this knowledge your own. Now, it's your turn to put this all into practice.
It really is as simple as 1, 2, 3. First, pick your subject. Let's start with 我 for I. Second, add your equals sign, 是. And third, finish it off with who you are. Are you a student, 学生? Are you American, 美国人? You just plug in that final piece of the puzzle.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Right now, using what you've just learned, how would you complete that sentence, 我是? Take a moment and say it out loud. You now have the fundamental tool to introduce yourself in Mandarin. So what will you say?